Brad and Kate, you've had an amazing year this year. Here we are on the cusp of Christmas. We're actually in Christmas, and you know you're scurrying off home now to pack your bags and go on a family cruise tomorrow to Bali for a week or two, which is something that everybody dreams of, to spend Bali on a ship and certainly with the family. How would you sum up years? You know, the amazing journey you've had this year. How would you sum it up?
Amazing. Certainly, it's been a very busy year. But what we've tried to do is really focus on really working hard and getting those results through consistent marketing and also structure and getting some systems in place. And for us, it's certainly been well worth the time and effort that we've put into developing these strategies. But now moving forward, you know, we can really see the results starting to happen. So it's been a very busy year, but really at the end of it, it's a great result and a great achievement.
Sorry, Brad.
I was going to say, just with, I think that is again getting those base fundamentals of running with, you know, getting the base of the systems running through the company and through our business, I think, is given us and freed up a lot of time. And it gets us quite organised as well, and I think that's how you step up to that next level, or whether it's time that you're looking for, or whether it's, you know, fundamentally, you know, income in your pocket. I think that's what you've got to do. You've got to really get some structure, and that starts from the base up. And we've been developing that over the last, I suppose, 12 months or so to be able to get these results where it gives us time and it gives us our monetary side of things as well. And, you know, we're excited to go away. Looking forward to it. It's been a big year, but we're tired.
Cool. How do you see the marketplace? What would be their perception of the two of you now versus 12 months ago, do you believe?
Well, I think, you know, our perception out there in the marketplace today is we're obviously a lot stronger with our advertising and our marketing and our market share. Our results speak for themselves, and I think with that side of things I expect that people look up at that, and like we did when we came into the industry, I suppose, you know, we were looking for guidance, and again, that's why we came across to, I suppose, Realmark and under Sean and Jenny and the Hughes team and Realmark. And I think that's what you need to do, is you need to look at who is doing the business and how they're doing it, and it is that sort of, you know, either magic dust or the, you know, the secret to the successes of what they're doing. So I think for us, that's what maybe people are looking at with us, but I suppose that's where I would sort of suggest there. What's your thoughts, Kate?
Yeah, I think perception is a big thing, but I think really people do see results, and certainly people out there working hard, and really the main thing for us has been consistency. There hasn't been a plan B. It's just keep going, and for us it's all about just working hard but having the great people around us that support us, and that's the difference from working in other companies. But with us, I mean, we are a husband and wife team. It is hard to balance everything, but in saying that, we've had lots of support and we've had ups and downs, but we have really kept going, and that's the beauty of where we can sit today and hopefully help and mentor others. I mean, we want to put ourselves out there in a leadership role as well, Ross. So, you know, yeah, things are looking good, and it's a great business to be in.
It's a pretty nice place to be in when you walk onto that ship tomorrow. You know, nice taste in your mouth, isn't it, to think that's what we've achieved this year, and you can sit back and go, yeah, that was good.
Oh, yeah,
definitely. I think you know, everyone works hard. We all work hard, whether you're writing $100,000 a year or whether you're writing over $1 million a year. I think that, you know, we all deserve our time off, no matter what you're doing. So yeah, look, we're looking forward to it, and it's again spending some good quality family time together. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Great, fantastic. So 2013, big tick.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Great.
The only problem is 2014 has to be a bigger tick, so that's a challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it does, and I think that, you know, we're meeting those challenges at the moment. We're moving forward. We're growing each year, and I think that is, again, going back to the successes of the back door of what we've got as far as a leadership role from the people we work around and the office. So yeah, look, I think we're looking forward to 2014. The market seems like it's going to be moving in an upwards position. So I think if you can position yourself ready for that, it's going to be very good.
I mean, the great thing from an insightful point of view, Brad, is that they say that you always got to be one step ahead of
yes.
the curve of the market. And obviously, you already got that in your mind, saying, well, if next year is going to be a strong year, we have to be one step ahead of where you think the market's going to be.
Correct, that's right. And again, we get that a lot of the times. I mean, in our sales meetings that we have, in our just in-house. In the offices, I think we get a lot of directions around that. Forward thinking about what is going to be happening in the next 3 months, 6 months and 12 months, and set yourself up. And I think that's what Realmark really brings to the table, is how they're very proactive around those sort of things. And I think that's really how you jump to that next level, because if nothing changes, Ross, I suppose, nothing changes.
Well, one of the core values that Realmark, I know, put out there in the marketplace is relevance. And from what you said to me, it's keeping relevant in the marketplace, not only for your own image and your marketing and what you bring through to a vendor, but obviously understanding the dynamics of the market, so you are relevant what you're offering the vendors to get them. What every vendor wants is the highest amount of money in the shortest period of time.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
For sure.
Guys, one of the observations I've made from where your business has gone this year is you've moved out of being stuck in that very sales orientated mode into taking very much a business approach to how you do things.
Yep.
Would you feel that's a good summation of how your growth path over the year?
I think so, Kate. I think that with us, I think with every good business, I think it's all about putting good people around you, and you look at any successful business, no matter what it is, I think it's all about putting the people in position and working with those and stepping up to the mark with, leadership. And it comes back to that. Again, I could talk about that leadership thing, but I think that's really important to getting that success. But you need to know from the ground up what your business is doing. So a good foundation right through to the top, Marks. And I think you've got to be in it and mixing with,
like-minded people.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So for us, we've actually just put on a full-time PA. So that really helps us move out to the business outside of just the everyday tasks, to just be really focusing on the listings and sales and following up and the meeting and greeting of clients, which we're good at, and then getting the right people to support us in the background, which is just as important for the marketing and the follow-ups and all the processing of files and the structure around that. So again, having the right people around us from our own staff, but also out there with the leadership from Sean and Jenny, and the administration in the company is great.
And I think, Ross, Realmark do give you a lot of tools to be able to do that. We have a lot of assistance with, Launch Plus, with all the other, systems, photography, script writing, right through. So I think that really makes a difference into what we deliver to the marketplace. I know you talked about really, every buyer, every seller wants to achieve the maximum, and I suppose as a seller, dollars in your back pocket is important for them, and as a buyer, you need to have a happy buyer as well. So I think putting it all together as a one-stop package, I think at Realmark, and with what we've had to achieve moving forward, it's been very successful in what we've been at, the tools that we've been able to, I suppose, acetate to be able to go to that next level.
Would you say that we have a lot of the mechanical things in business, like the tools and assistants and so forth, and systems. But do you think one of the unsung heroes in business often is the energy and the youth and the culture and the vibrance within a business that actually makes you want to drive to that next level and push through that sales barrier into very much a business environment? Because youth is a very infectious thing. Yep. And the more youth you have around you, because they don't want a job, they want a career.
Yep.
And they're trailblazers to many respects. And something I've observed within certainly the Realmark Coastal operation, there is a huge element of youth.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you find you feed off that, and and their vibrance and their trailblazing, go for it attitude? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think with Sean, I mean, he's got the youth with him, and I think what he brings to the table and other people in the office is fantastic. And I think that that really gives you a lot of drive, but the knowledge as well. I think of people like Jenny and other people that have been around for a long time in the industry. I think that's a great blend. And if you're sort of looking at getting a career or you're in a career of real estate, I think that they're the sort of fundamentals that you really need to get, as that energy. And and I think Realmark and definitely Coastal, we have some really good.
Yeah, I think to add to that, I mean, we also have a fair bit of fun.
Yeah.
We all get on really well. We're obviously all in a business that can be quite demanding of time and energy and that sort of thing, but a lot of us are quite focused on our health and fitness and good sort of positive lifestyle. So it becomes a real balance, and everyone sort of helps each other out for that. But yeah, so fun and working hard is a really good mix, because you want to have this career for a long time, and certainly it's been sort of, that's the way we all sort of work, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, and I think like it is you do work hard, you put long hours in, but at the same time there's a big burnout as well. So I think that balance is very, very important. So we find that that's a big key point, I think, to success.
Yeah, I mean it is interesting observing from the outside into Realmark Coastal, is certainly from the top and all the layers through the business, is that whole work-life balance is a very important part of business, because the more refreshed we are from a body, mind, soul perspective, the better we're always going to be in the field, and that certainly permeates through all the layers of the business, doesn't it?
That's right,
for sure.
Guys, over the past 5 years, you have had a pretty incredible journey, really. You're going from, sort of that embryonic stage of the business and all the turmoil that creates through, as we said before, smashing through that $1 million barrier and to wherever you want to take it to from there. Because, that magic million is something that a lot of people in real estate dream and aspire to be. I mean, many years ago it was $100,000.
Yeah.
Now it's a $1 million barrier.
Yeah.
And it is a psychological barrier. And it's a very big one. What are some of the core things that have helped you, probably more from a mindset, because you can list and sell real estate, whether you're doing $100,000 a year or 10 million a year, it's the same. What's been something that's really been that, as you said before, Brad, the magic dust to really go, wow, because that's quite a journey in 5 years.
Yeah.
And in many respects, it's probably just begun.
Yes.
Where you take it to now. It's been like a 5-year apprenticeship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I agree with that. I think there is fundamentally a lot of groundwork that you just have to be persistent and consistent. Again, I go back to the people that support and you're surrounded with, and certainly it can be a lonely job if that's all you want to do is just head down and work. But if you're surrounded by very motivated and inspiring people like we are in the Coastal Group, especially Sean and Jen, then we've got so much opportunities. And for myself and Brad, we've come from the fitness background, so we've always been quite motivated ourselves, but then that permeates even further when you're surrounded with really positive people. So the knowledge, the structure of the systems, the marketing, the people that are around you has just helped us grow, and our business has grown exponentially. But it's hard work, but it's also seeing those results grow year after year just keeps you going, and there's a lot of consistency, which is a really important thing.
And I think the other thing is, Ross, is the non-negotiables. I think what we've said in our business every year or every quarter, every year in, year out, is really those non-negotiables. And then what we've done is we've kept that consistent the whole way through, whether it's just from one thing, two things or three things, whether it's signage or whether it's layering with DLs or whether it's marketing through the paper well, I think, or just having good sold signs out there. I think every year we put another non-negotiable notch there that says, okay, how can we improve? Because again, nothing changes, and I think again, like Coles, I think we talked about this, and like Woolworths with the big marketing branding that they're having at the moment, and the change, I think that you need to look at that, even as a small business as we are, is how can I change, how can I improve, and adapt. And adapt to that and get that lift to be able to go to that next level. So from a consumer's point of view, they want to use you and they see the benefit of you. And I suppose, again, when we go into a presentation, I feel very confident, and with our fee structure, we charge a higher fee, but I think our value is there, and I think that the consumer needs to be able to feel the value in what we're delivering, and I think that's very important, because without that, you're only just at a basic level.
I think belief in lots of things, but certainly in yourself, and that's quite empowering, because when you again have great opportunities from working where we work, you do grow more confidence, and that can be from, like Brad said, even offering the service we offer, but then getting a higher fee. But self-belief, self-motivation, and then achieving results have been those things. It's a mix of different things, but again, the consistency of just working, moving forward, adapting and changing, and being surrounded by positive people. It's just, there's all these different things that really help us achieve these goals.
And that key thing is, I think, like you said, is adapting to market, adapting to the consumer, adapting to whoever you need to do. You need to be able to adapt, and you need to be able to advance on that when you're doing that. So, and I think we spoke about this some time ago, is again, we can buy a piece of steak down the road for $10, but why do we go and pay $35 or $40? What is the benefit for using the Hardingham team? It's the same as, why would I pay for that when I can pay for that? Yeah, it's an experience. Yeah.
Brad, I heard you pay $75 for a steak.
Yeah.
40's no good anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Top shelf.
Yeah. That's my wife.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say that, summing all that up, that the business really drives a non-complacency rule, if you like?
Yes.
And that is, because complacency is what sort of destroys a whole heap of things. And complacency puts businesses and people into decline.
Yes.
Everything that you've just said really sums up to me that there is a non-complacency ethos in the business that says what we've done today is great, but we can't be complacent.
No.
That'll be valid tomorrow.
Sure.
It's like we sit here now, it's Christmas time, the year's done, we're already looking in 2014. If we were sitting here now, Christmas 2014, what would be a strong expectation you have of yourselves to achieve next year? You say, because you've had a great growth over the last 5 years, but probably fair to say that you're on that J-curve growth factor, so next year could be conceivably a very big year. What would you like to sit here and say 12 months down the track?
Well, I think if we can keep doing the same things that we're doing at the moment, plus edging it forward, like you said, and not staying just complacent, but just edging that little bit more. And I think, with our business planning that we do, I think it's all about that, is really, what do you want out of that? And again, whether it's monetary time or family or health and fitness, I think at the end of the day is that's what we look as a business, because it's not just one thing that really gives you that business. I think it's more about, going 1, 2 or 3 things, and I think putting them all together, I think that's what I'd like to see going into 2014. I think we're going to have a great year. We come back from holidays, we've already set up our new listings for moving forward. We've had some good settlements that are coming through. We've got good settlements that are moving forward. We've got some planning with our business coach. We've got PA planning. We've got marketing planning. We sit down with Sean and Jenny and talk about what the year's going to bring forward in quarters. So I think, setting all that up is very important to knowing where do you want to drive the ship, or where do you want to drive the train? Which way is your vehicle going? You need to know how that's sort of going forward if you wanted to advance to that next level. It's
a very strong three-dimensional view to your business, which is just tremendous, because so many people have a one-dimensional view of the world. And everything you've just articulated says we have a very three-dimensional aspect, and all parts equal the sum.
Yes.
Which is going to give you, and a plan that is live. It's not something stuck away somewhere. It's a live, breathing document. Fantastic. Brad, I think one of the most outstanding things that you've achieved this year is, mate, you went surfing this year for 2 or 3 weeks, and whilst you're away, I think you wrote $105,000. So there's a few, which really on the pro circuit, Kelly Slater wouldn't have done that.
Sure.
So, mate, I'm curious to know a couple of things. Number one is, how'd you get permission from Kate to go away for that long surfing?
Yes.
Because, mate, once you can give me some ideas, I'd be really keen to know. And secondly, that would be the penultimate in the world of sales, to think I can go away for 3 weeks doing something that I love with your mates having a couple of Coca-Colas and, you know, having
sure.
early nights.
Exactly.
Right.
Sure.
and you know, and right over $100,000 in fees.
Yeah.
To me, that doesn't get much better than that. So
Well,
how do you do that?
Well, I think, you know, happy wife, happy life. But I think, you know, you need to have, you know, Kate and myself have been together for a long time, and I think that, you know, we can read into each other, and I think, you know, you've got to have your spaces even though you work together in business. I think you need to have that. I think to move forward, as far as that great support that I get from the team and Kate, that gives us the opportunity, vice versa with Kate as well. And I think that that's the great thing with this business of real estate, is that you can open the doors to be able to do those sort of things. So your world's the oyster, and I think, you know, we're seeing that now, and we're looking very forward to, you know, the next 5 or 6 years in the business to be able to develop that. And like you say, Kelly Slater, I'd love to be doing what he's doing, but I'm loving what I'm doing as well. So that's, again, working through that, getting that time and getting the benefits from that is what this product of selling real estate does for you, and it's fantastic. It's exciting. It's great.
Yeah.
And
don't forget, I went to Broome too.
yeah,
of course, Kate. Sorry.
we don't say that.
Hang on a minute, that was only 3 days, not 3 weeks.
There's probably more than 3 weeks, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Brad, it's probably fair to say Kelly Slater's looking back and saying, well, how do I earn $105,000 in 3 weeks?
For sure.
And he
for
does
sure.
it all the time, so
Yeah.
you're his icon.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
so
it's
good.
great. And I think that's a good thing with business, and I think, you know, getting into that level of where you can, you know, achieve with this business, I think it's fantastic, you know. It gives you a great opportunity to be able to, you know, some great times, some great fun times, and obviously to be able to go to that next level of having time off and having income as well. So yeah, it's great.
Good, great.
Guys, if you're out there tomorrow, you're in a cafe or somewhere, and you're on the ship going to Bali tomorrow, and you bump into somebody that's in the industry, and they said, look, we're considering, you know, our career and going to the next level, and we're not sure what to do. And if they said to you, you know, tell me about Realmark, and why would I go to Realmark Coastal?
Sure.
What would you say to them?
Well, I would say to them that based on our experience, we have had consistent support from day one, and it's been a huge drive. Like we said, for 5 years it's been hard work, but each year there was always a result moving forward. So we achieved every year, and I mean, yes, the business has grown exponentially, but I would say to them that what you get at Realmark Coastal with Jen and Sean and the team is something a bit different to other places. I think you come on board and you'll get a lot of support. There's the mix of the knowledge, experience, but like we said, there's fun there as well. So it's a team family feeling, and that's what we've had. I mean, we've had opportunities in all different aspects, and we're working together as a team, because the key thing is everyone wants to see each individual have success, and so it's a very supportive place to be. And I look forward to going to work. It's a great thing to come in the morning, get organised and start your day, and that's the kind of feeling that we have in the Realmark Coastal team. And
I think that's definitely a factor there. I think that you've got to be happy with the environment that you're working in, because otherwise you can't develop to that next level. So I'd strongly suggest that. I mean, we have worked with another company before going to Realmark, and obviously, you know, it was a big company, and I think that Realmark is as big. But as far as that is concerned, it feels like, well, definitely at Coastal, it's a boutique industry, it's a boutique office with lots of knowledge, lots of tools, lots of support. And I think that I strongly would recommend, you know, anyone coming across from another place or looking at a career in real estate that the Realmark Coastal would be, you know, one-stop shop to come to, because, you know, there's just all of those all those key points.
Opportunities.
And I think that's really important starting off, because, you know, you can start off in the wrong business and make the wrong opportunities come up, and then you change, and you could be left in the back door. Whereas if you get that support, that drive, that knowledge from the people around you, then it can bring you to where we are today and moving forward. And as we
Well, as we experienced them when we started, and it was sort of like, there's the phone,
Yep.
there's a telephone book,
Press
get
help.
started, and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It's not like that at all. I mean, myself and Brad's very good at helping people that start, you know, and he'll go through our own experiences and what we can do, and then that goes from the leadership from Jenny, Sean, Gail Adams, our managing director, and it just within the administration staff. There's a supporting family feel, but it's also understanding that, you know, expectations you will meet as you go, and you'll get that support, you know, around you. So it's, you know, you're not expected to achieve in the first year, but certainly year after year you will see growth, and I think that's a great thing to see in a business, and you support it all the way.
And everyone shares. I think, you know, again, going back to where we were before, I think that, you know, that sharing is sharing and caring. I suppose at the end of the day is that people are prepared to share from the ground up or from the top down. And I think there's no secrets. It's all about, you know, sharing and making sure that you get that support if you're coming on new, and then going right through to the top. And I know that, and a big thing I've said to a lot of people over the time is, you know, Sean's got a fairly big business, Sean and Jenny, massive business. And when we came across, you know, he always had plenty of time for us. There was no aggro, there was none of that. I mean, I've been around some big riders before, and I think that, you know, the aggression around that, you know, it is a bit like that. But I know that with Sean, never had a bad bone in his body, or Jenny, and always, if we needed support, they were there 110%. So that, I think, in itself
Is gold.
is, yeah.
That's great.
Well, guys, thanks very much for your time, and go home and pack and enjoy
Absolutely.
your cruise,
Yeah, yeah.
a well-earned one.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And
Thanks,
look
Ross.
forward to an outstanding 2014.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Ross.
Ross.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Outstanding.
that.
Cheers.
Thank you.